What? My phone died. So we had just finished installing Moonraker right here. I'm gonna scoot this a little closer. We had just finished installing Moonraker. Then you need to choose, the last one to install is either Mainsail or Fluid. You choose one or the other. I always go with Mainsail. Now, I already did this because my phone died and I went through the whole process, but I can still show you the first part. So you just hit 3 Mainsail. And then it says download recommended macros. I'm going to say yes. Super secret password, HWB. And so then it's just starting the service. And after that, you've just installed Klipper. You've installed 10 mainsails on the computer. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to figure out our IP address. And in order to do that, we need to install a couple of different things on it. And let's see, let me look up the line of code right here. Okay, so we're gonna hit back. Let's get out of here for now. And we're gonna hit quit. After we figure out our IP, I'll show you the process of connecting a printer using the Klipper. But first, I want to install a couple of things. So we need to quit and get back to our main flashy screen here. I can't remember what the name is. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to install SSH. I'm just going to type it in because it's easier. I'll have all these so you can copy and paste them. This is line 1. It's when you install this, it's 3 lines of code. So that was line 1. This is line 2. Sudo systemctl start SSH. Don't ask me what all this means. This is just what I looked up, and this is how you install it on Linux. Maybe I did that wrong. Sudo system ctl start SSH. Nope, I think I did that right. Okay, line 3, sudo ufw allow SSH. Okay, so that's your 3 lines of code. SSH is now enabled on this computer. Next, we want to prevent sleep. So sudo sleep. You don't have to type this in. It's just easier for me. You don't want the computer falling asleep while you have it on a 2-day print, right? Hybrid. Target. Hybrid. Sleep. Okay, that's the first line. This is 2 lines of code that you run to prevent sleep. Okay, so now it will not fall asleep. The computer will stay on and active. Okay, so now we need to install the NetID tools. And this will allow us, the reason why this last one is important is because it allows us to see our IP address right from here. So sudo app install net tool SIF. I think that did it. Let's see. IF. Oh, maybe the code updated, so we need to install this. Okay, so we're gonna, not the one I just typed in, but this one, sudo apt install net tools. I see. It should have just been tools, and I have if there. Okay, so that's what it should be doing. Okay, so now it will, if we type in if config, this will display our IP address. And this is important because this is how we access Mainsail over the internet. So right here it says 192.168.50.247. So if we come here and we type in 192.50.68, what was the last one? 168.50. Was it 168? Can I just copy and paste it? That would be so much easier. Yeah! All right, so now we should be broadcasting. So if we come up here and we type in Kablamo, there you go. All right, so the very first time it's gonna say add printer. And this kind of threw me through a loop. I'm like, what? We added 10 printers. Why do I need to add a printer? All we simply need to do here is tell the computer which printers we want to see. So if we don't want to see all 10 printers, we don't have to. We can only set up 1 printer or 2 printers. We don't have to see a whole list of 10. The printer will always start, the port number always starts at 7125. That is printer number 1. So we're going to add printer. Do you see how it comes up with 7125? And then host name IP. You just Control V, you paste that IP address, and you hit add printer. So we have a green check mark. You can do this for 10 printers in a row. So the next one, when you add it, it won't be 125. We already added that. It'll be 7126. Add the IP address. Kablamo. Now we have printer number 2. And we can do this all the way to 10 printers long. And then you can change the names so you don't have to look at the IP address. So if we click on this first one, it will take us into a Mainsail. And this is probably what everybody's used to seeing. We can switch between the two. If we want to go back to the screen, we just hit refresh. Since we added it to this, we'll never need to add it. But every time you open it up in a new website, like in a new computer or something, you'll have to redo these screens. But it's you get really used to it. So all right, so now that you know that it's working and you've done all that, let's hit exit out of here. Let's hit exit out of here. So we enabled SSH. Oh, actually, we won't exit out of here. Let's just, yeah, let's keep this open. So we enabled SSH, and what that's going to allow us to do is it's going to allow us to work from our normal computer. And we don't have to work directly on the other computer. Now, why is that important? If you look real close, you'll see that I have a printer config right there. So when I SSH into the, or when I open it up into this printer, I keep saying SSH. It's not SSHing at this point. Oh, I do have to SSH. That's what I do have to do. So when I SSH into the printer and I need to find the MCU ID for the actual, the printer that we hook up, Then I'll copy and paste it into this config, and then I'll drag and drop it into our main sail. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna show you how to SSH into it, right? So this is something you should have seen before. This is our PuTTY configuration. Just unplugged that. Okay, so we need to type in that IP address again. It is 192.168.50.247. The communication port is 22. I always like to save it, and so we'll say Merc, and we'll hit save. Then we hit, just double click it, hit accept. So it says login as. All right, and we just logged in. Okay, so this is just like the screen that we saw on our other on the main computer, just like this, but now we're on a different computer communicating to it over the internet. Why is this important? It allows us to copy and paste things a lot easier and work from your main computer instead of working directly on it. Okay, since we already typed in all the commands in the other computer, all we have to do is press up here, I believe. No. So in order to run Kawai again, we need to find the Kawai run code, which is this. We're gonna copy, Control C. Oh, I didn't get it all. Copy. It's not doing it. Control V. I can't remember how to copy and paste things. I'm just gonna manually type it. And go ahead, you can make fun of me. I don't care. Okay, boom. All right. So now I'm gonna connect a printer to it. And the reason why Kawai is so cool is that you can write the Klipper configs in here. You can retrieve the MCU IDs. You can also install updates, and it'll run the update on all of them at one time instead of manually clicking on each and every one. So we need to figure out our printer. So if we look over here, I've got a Delta Super Racer that I'm about to connect, and our computer should be able to read the unique MCU ID. And I'm gonna plug my phone back in so it doesn't die. All right, so give me 1 second, I'm gonna connect the cord. And this is just a regular USB that you used before whenever you connected Klipper for the first time. Except you hook it up to the computer now instead of a Raspberry Pi. Okay, I got the printer plugged in. Make sure that it's turned on. So we have the USB plugged into the computer here. See that one? And it runs all the way to the 3D printer and plugs in right there. And then make sure you have the printer turned on. Okay? So then we're going to come back over here. It's going to say perform action. We want to go to advance 4. And this is where if we wanted to build Klipper or do other things, we can do that in this screen. But the one I use this most is number 5, get MCU ID. That's how you identify each printer to Klipper. So we're going to hit 5, and then we're going to hit, it takes us into a screen. We're going to hit, it's connected by USB. And there it is. There's our 3D printer. So now all we have to do is copy this, Control, I guess that did copy it. Let me see. And then come into our config, paste. Let's confirm that it's the same one, 30322. 1F00. Okay, so we're going to hit File, and we're going to hit Save. So now, I know it says Printer 20. I'll rename that. So now we're going to go back to our main sale, and let me figure out what our, so it was 192.168.50.247. So see, it's asking us to add a printer. We're just going to add it again. Every time you do it, it's going to have you add a new one. You can't have it like, it just needs to have the numbers. We're going to hit add printer. Okay, so this is our first one. We're going to come down here to machine. We will delete this. We're going to drag and drop this. So let me do that again so you can see. So we're going to drag and drop this. Kablamo. So we need to rename it. That's because I've downloaded it 20 times and it has the same file name. So just come in here to rename. Okay. Now, if we go to the right, we're going to hit firmware restart. And kablamo, you're inside Klipper talking to a machine. You've got your printer config. Let's go to dashboard. Oh, if we hit home, our printer's moving. Yeah. All right, so I'm sure I'll get a lot of questions, hate mail. You can address the hate mail to robert.com. I don't care.